First at 5, a live look at the highly anticipated first phase of the John Nolan Drive project. It's begun now, and we'll take an early look at the impact.
Plus, after a 37-point home thrashing at the hands of rival Iowa, Badger head coach Luke Fickell and the Badgers try to stay upbeat about a very uncertain future.
And a live look at American Family Field. The tailgaters are out as the Brewers are set to open up the National League Championship Series. Game 1 tonight against the Los Angeles Dodgers. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Thanks for staying with us at 5, everyone. First tonight, the John Nolan Reconstruction Project is officially underway.
News 3 Now's Jalen Banks joins us live now from John Nolan Drive. Jalen, what's it looking like out there?
Eric and Susan, today marks the first day of a multi-year reconstruction project of John Nolan Drive. I'm currently at the intersection of Lakeside Street and John Nolan. Traffic has really picked up over the past few minutes or so. As I'm looking straight ahead, on the other side of Lakeside Street, things are really backed up. There's been multiple times where standing here, there's cars been, I don't want to say piled up in the intersection, but in the intersection as they try to head downtown. So again, John Nolan being reduced down to one lane has really started to pick up traffic in the area. Now, this project is set to run for the next 2 years. At least phase 1 of the project is set to run for the next 2 years. We had the chance to catch up with a couple of the engineers who've worked on the planning for this project for 5 years, and they say that phase 1 is the most extensive because it includes several bridges that'll either be built or worked on over the next 2 years. Also had the chance to catch up with a few residents that use John Nolan regularly, and they say that they're going to have to make adjustments to their daily commute.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to be kind of a pain because it's just like such an easy road to take in downtown from wherever. So yeah, it's probably going to be pretty annoying.
How's it
I work on the west side, so probably just take a different route, like take University down. Probably just take longer.
Yeah.
Now, the tentative timeline for the entire reconstruction project is set to end in 2029. That'll have construction going all the way down to the Beltline. Again, this is just day 1 of a multi-year project, so we're going to have continuous coverage of how this will impact the Madison metro area. And we'll continue to keep you updated both on air and online as the reconstruction project develops. But I'm going to send it back to you guys in studio. Reporting live from John Nolan Drive, Jalen Banks, News 3 Now.
All right, Jalen, 4-year project underway. And as part of this project, they will rebuild the 6 existing bridges, add 3 more, expand bike and pedestrian paths, upgrade storm sewers and traffic signals. Now, the best way to get around that construction if you're heading downtown is to take South Park Street to West Wash.
A man is in jail this afternoon after allegedly swinging a knife at people on the city's east side this morning. Officers were called to Rethke Avenue just south of the intersection with U.S. Highway 151 just after midnight. The 65-year-old man was taken into custody without incident. He faces 2 counts of disorderly conduct while armed. A new study from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says Wisconsin is one of the deadliest states when it comes to police pursuits. Wisconsin recorded 535 fatal crashes in 2023. 11 of them, or 2%, were directly caused by a police chase. The study also shows the Wisconsin State Patrol's pursuit operations policy instructs troopers to only engage in a pursuit when it can be done without creating an unreasonable danger.
Now to our forecast. There were a few showers this morning. Alex, are we to expect any more rain in the near future?
We certainly do have more rain chances in the forecast, but I want to end here with a silver lining on a beautiful start to the work week with those showers. And we got a little bit of sun behind me as the sun sets out here on the patio. No drops right now, but let's look at the drops we had this morning. Not a whole lot, about 1/10 of an inch to 2/10 of an inch across all of southern Wisconsin. And as Eric was asking, do we have more rain in our forecast? We do, as early as tomorrow. tomorrow night, Tuesday night, going on into Wednesday, and a bigger weather system as we go Friday into Saturday. More on those rain chances. I'll use Future Track when I come back in a couple minutes to show you what those raindrops look like Tuesday night going on into Wednesday. As I mentioned, the sun came out. A beautiful start to the week. 67 right now in Madison, in the low 70s in the Wisconsin River Valley. 64, though, to the east in Janesville, where the clouds and those few raindrops hung on just a little bit longer. Right now, 65 at the airport, 65 in Deerfield, where the sun came out a little bit more today. We have 70 to 71 in the northwest part of Dane County and Cross Plains and in Sauk City. Planning our evening, no raindrops tonight. We just have this nice sunset behind me here. Temperatures falling down into the 50s. And then as we get a little bit later into the overnight period, we'll see those temperatures go down into the 40s. When I come back in a few minutes, Future Track will use that to show you when those raindrops start on Tuesday night, when we will see them peak, when we will see those raindrops end, and I'll give you a projection on just how many raindrops may fall. I'll show you that rainfall forecast coming up.
All right, Alex, thank you. The Badgers suffered one of their worst home losses in over 40 years on Saturday night.
It was a tough one. Our sports director, Andrew Banstra, joins us live to tell us more about the game and how head coach Luke Fickell is reacting to it. Andrew?
Eric and Susan, let's start here. Saturday was just flat out sad. And if you ask me, something changed during that game from a Wisconsin fan base that still had that lingering sense of hope that things could get back to how they used to be, to the sudden realization that that wasn't going to happen, certainly not this season and maybe not under Luke Fickell. It's understandably left the Wisconsin fan base, accustomed to a winning culture, more frustrated, or more than frustrated, I should say, but dismayed. Fickell says he understands their frustrations, but urges them, like the team, to keep focusing on the future.
I mean, they got to be just like us. Like, I mean, every game's a new game, and I know it's frustrating. I know it's disappointing. I don't blame you, but the truth of the matter is Saturday is Saturday, and we need our guys' best effort. We need our coaches' best effort, and we need the people's best effort too. And regardless if they're frustrated or not, like there's got to be a belief in the things that they're doing. They can be mad at me. That's fine. Don't be mad at those kids, and those kids need them. They need to feel that support. They need to see that support. But they know what the challenge looks like. And it's got to be a challenge to all of us.
Coming up at 6, I'll tell you how the Badgers plan to shift gears this weekend against Ohio State. Plus, of course, I will preview Game 1 of the NLCS that the Brewers are playing this evening against the Dodgers. For now at the Kohl Center, because we're here with Wisconsin basketball's Media Day, but had to pop out to tell you this about Wisconsin football. Andrew Banstra for News 3 Sports.
We appreciate you joining us.
Thanks,
Busy day.
Andrew.
A lot going on in sports. Andrew, thank you. Well, American shoppers are now in decision mode regarding how much to spend on travel, gifts, and even decorations for the holidays. In a new survey from Bankrate, 41% of respondents say they're concerned holiday gifts will be more expensive this year, and roughly a third of shoppers plan to take on some debt. The survey also found fewer people are planning to travel during the period between Thanksgiving and New Year's.
We see that only 21% of U.S. adults are planning holiday travel this year. Last year, it was 27%. And I'm surprised that this is going down just because through September, the TSA has actually processed more air travelers this year than last year per day.
Travel experts say there's still time to book for those looking to go home for the holidays, and when it's time to travel, be prepared. Have your airline's app on your phone, track your plane, and rebook if you have to.
You may want to think about tackling some home improvement projects before the end of the year. The Energy Efficient Home Improvement Credit allows you to claim up to $3,200 for certain upgrades, but that tax break expires December 31st. Home services company Front Door says it's an especially good time if you need to get your HVAC system replaced.
From the U.S. Department of Energy that a high-efficiency HVAC unit can save households up to 20% of their annual energy bills.
Make sure you have it installed and paid for by the end of the year.
Tax consulting specialists say to save your receipts or get a certificate of completion, you don't need to send them into the IRS, but keep them for your records. And keep in mind, you can't get back more on the credit than you owe in taxes.
The Wisconsin Air National Guard's 115th Fighter Wing will be conducting evening training flights this week in the Madison area. The F-35 aircraft takes off and lands at Dane County Regional Airport and Truax Field until 9:30 Tuesday through Thursday. The Guard requires that nighttime training throughout the year to keep pilots and personnel prepared for operations.
Well, after beating the Chicago Cubs in Game 5 of the NLDS, the Brewers are now, 4 wins?
Gotta win
Do the
four.
math?
Best of 7.
4 wins away from going to the World Series.
To do that, Milwaukee will have to beat, of all people, the defending world champion Los Angeles Dodgers, starting with Game 1 of the NLCS tonight. That's at American Family Field. Tanisha Shaw live outside the ballpark as the anticipation builds leading to that first pitch. Tanisha?
Hi, Eric and Susan. I know usually during these tailgates you want to be outside of the car, but I have to be in this car for a very special reason. I would describe this as a Brewers mobile. And let me tell you, this car was made in 1983. Now, if you're a real Brewers fan, you know how important 1982 was for everyone here in Milwaukee and for MLB fans. And I'm here with one of the owners of this car, Josh Donnell. Josh, first of all, how are you? And tell me, how many hours, days, or months did you put into this car? Because I know a lot of this is custom.
Well, I'm pumped for this Brewers Series, playoffs, baby. Let's go. And tons of hours, many hours with many friends after work, grabbing a case of beer and heading over there. And whoever wanted to come, invited, and they knew they were coming to a game, they helped out. So we made it happen. 17 years we've had it now.
And I really want the viewers at home to know that the more you look at this car, the more you see how intricate it is. Like, look, you can see a little like beer tab right here. The rims, right here have a little baseball. It's like so cool. Now tell me, about how much money do you think you put into this car?
I'd estimate, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 grand, which ain't too bad, I'd say.
And this is truly a group effort because I know you have all your friends here who help with this car. And lastly, what I just want to say, I know you're cheering on the Brewers, but you're a really dedicated Brewers fan. Tell me, how many games have you been to this year?
This year, I'd say it's been every playoff game, every home playoff game, and probably about 20 during the season, roughly.
And you know, I was talking to y'all and y'all said it's all good vibes. So can we get a Go Brewers? I'll say it with you on 3, okay? We're going to look right at the camera. 1, 2, 3. Go Brewers! All right, Susan and Eric, I'm going to send it back to you for now.
I love the door handle on that sliding door. A little baseball bat. Did you see that?
No, I didn't catch
10
that.
to 15 grand into that van. That was probably worth about $3,000 when they bought it. Good stuff, though. Coming up at 5, no end in sight for the government shutdown.
And Hamas releases the remaining surviving Israeli hostages. What's next for the Middle East as the fighting ends in Gaza?
And still some room for improvement when it comes to the green and gold. Later at 5, Jason Wilde shares the thoughts of head coach Matt LaFleur after that win over the Bengals. And on Wall Street, a strong bounce back from Friday's losses. The Dow jumping 588 points. NASDAQ gets back a big chunk of what it lost Friday, gaining 490 points. S&P up 102, and we'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Well, after 2 years of war, the remaining living Israeli hostages are now back in Israel.
And the fighting in Gaza has stopped as part of a peace plan. President Trump, who helped broker the plan, addressed Israel's parliament, receiving a standing ovation, and called the moment the historic dawn of a new Middle East.
This is not only the end of a war. This is the end of an age of terror and death and the beginning of the age of faith and hope and of God.
As part of the deal, nearly 2,000 Palestinian prisoners were returned to the West Bank and Gaza. Other major hurdles ahead include who will govern Gaza and also the disarming of Hamas.
Well, there was confusion over the weekend as hundreds of CDC employees were mistakenly sent notices that they were laid off. More than 4,000 federal workers were sent termination notices last week, and with hundreds of thousands of employees furloughed, there's no one to pick up the trash and no one helping tourists at Joshua Tree National Park.
The visitor centers are closed, so we could not ask our questions, what we would like, what we can see in the state parks.
Now, tomorrow, senators are expected to vote for an 8th time on a resolution to reopen the government, but the House remains in recess with no plan to return anytime soon. Well, here in southern Wisconsin, it's been cloudy today and mild, a little dry. A couple of people saw some showers today.
Yeah, Alex, more rain in the forecast?
We do have more rain in the forecast, and I know we could certainly use them across all of southern Wisconsin. We're getting hopefully closer to the end of the harvest. That gives us that opportunity once the harvest is done to take on more of these raindrops because we need them in the ground. Tuesday night going on into Wednesday, scattered showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm, then keeping an eye on a weather system towards the end of the week that brings us scattered showers and thunderstorms. So 2 chances to get rain throughout the course of this week, and we can't rule out a shower Wednesday going on into Thursday. Here are those shower chances, latest with Future Track. Tuesday, 5:30, maybe a shower or 2 for that evening commute over southwest Wisconsin. So go a little bit later into the night. Some scattered showers, can't rule out a couple of rumbles of thunder, especially for I-94, Wisconsin, River Valley, and areas towards the north, as it looks like right now. That appears to be the emphasis with Future Track with this batch of showers, and those showers are out of here by the time we get to 10, 11, 12 o'clock on Wednesday morning. Latest rainfall projections, about a quarter, maybe a half inch of rain for, let's say, the Dells up towards Camp Douglas, Marquette, Green Lake counties, over towards Beaver Dam. Lesser amounts towards the south, towards the Wisconsin-Illinois border. And this seems like a story that we have told many times here. When I show you the next graphic, these are the folks that really need that water right now. Monroe, over to Footville, over to Janesville, over towards Elkhorn, nearing those moderate drought conditions, expanding abnormally dry conditions across all of southern Wisconsin. So the longer we go without persistent rainfall, the more we're going to see these dry conditions and hopefully not the moderate drought conditions continue to expand across southern Wisconsin. So bottom line here in the rain. Tomorrow night, early Wednesday, some rain chances. Slight chances for rain as we go into Wednesday, going into Thursday. Good chances for rain Friday night and Saturday. Join us tonight at 6 and 10. We'll talk a little bit more about that weather system Friday night going into Saturday. Can't forget about tonight's temperatures and forecasts. 41 in Camp Douglas. Not expecting patchy frost, though. 46 to 48 from Prairie du Chien over to Madison, over to Watertown and Beaver Dam, and then areas south towards the Wisconsin-Illinois border. We'll do temperatures right around 50 degrees, which is above normal for this time of year. Those clouds streaming into the north and west of Baraboo will hold those highs down to around 60, but areas that see that sunshine a little bit longer. Madison areas to the south and east, Monroe over towards Janesville, over towards the town of Jefferson, mid-60s to right around 70 degrees. So a fairly nice Tuesday rather, is in store for parts of southern Wisconsin, but we do have that nighttime rain. That rain will end Wednesday morning. Can't rule out a shower on Thursday. Breezy and warmer on Friday out ahead of that weather system I was mentioning just a bit. And that brings us good chances for rain Friday night going on into Saturday, and then a little bit cooler. So just a touch of a weather roller coaster with temperatures here. But none of these temperatures are way below normal. In fact, that Sunday temperature at 59 degrees is very close to normal for this time of year. It's really that Friday 74-degree temperature that sticks out a little bit. Let's go back here before our weather photo, if we could do it. Oh, there we go. Come on, graphics, let's work together today. There we go. The fall color report, things are peaking to the north of the Dalles here in southern Wisconsin. We're starting to near that peak, so take these opportunities to get outside and look at the yellows, the oranges, and the reds. And speaking of oranges, a sunset here from Mount Torup. Thanks, Jennifer, for sending us this photo. If you want to send us your weather photo, scan the QR code right now. Just do it, and then that will link us up to your photos, and then we can show them on air. Eric, Susan?
All right, sounds great, Alex. Thank you. And also, don't forget, set your reminder, the Winter Ready Special airs this Wednesday at 6:30 here on Channel 3. Learn why bitter cold and heavy snow may be less common, how winter alerts are issued, and how recent winters affect our pets. Also, what to expect. That's what everybody wants to know. What kind of a winter can we expect this year? It's right after our 6 p.m. newscast on Wednesday night.
I should watch. I'm never winter ready, but this year I will
true.
be. Ahead at 5, the Packers beat the Bengals yesterday, but as Jason Wilde tells us, there's still plenty of room for improvement. The story next.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Packers fresh off that win against Joe Flacco, and the Bengals now sit with a solid 3-1-1 record overall.
But head coach Matt LaFleur still sees room for improvement. News 3 Now senior Packers writer Jason Wilde has more from Lambeau Field.
Packers coach Matt LaFleur had plenty to be frustrated about, even though his team won on Sunday, beating the Cincinnati Bengals here at Lambeau Field 27-18. But he didn't like the interception that Jordan Love threw in a game where he said he played fantastic football, but that was one critical mistake. He didn't like the way the defense couldn't get a stop in the second half when they could have put the game away. And yet, despite those frustrations, the Packers not only won the game, but they now sit in an NFC where they are one of only two teams that have just one loss on their record. The other team being the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And if the season ended today, the Packers would be the number 2 seed. They also wouldn't have to clean up all the garbage that's still here in the stands. Point being, while the Packers have plenty of room for improvement and plenty of work to do, they're still sitting in a pretty good spot as they enter the meat of their schedule. They've got back-to-back road games coming up next, at Arizona next Sunday, and then at Pittsburgh the following Sunday against a quarterback you may be familiar with. His name is Aaron Rodgers. We'll have full coverage of everything Packers on our website, channel3000.com, for free, although maybe not the tractor that's been restitching the field while I've been talking to you. And, of course, make sure you sign up for our newsletter when you're at channel3000.com so you can get our Packers coverage, like today with 4 stories, delivered directly to your inbox every single day. In Green Bay at Lambeau Field, Jason Wilde, channel3000.com.
Thank you, Jason. And the Packers hit the road this Sunday to face off against the Arizona Cardinals. Kickoff is set for 3:25.
That should be a nice toasty game out in the desert. And Alex will have a final check of our forecast when we come back.
A slow-moving nor'easter batters the Northeast. Millions under a state of emergency as the storm stalls out over major American cities.
And a Missouri family turns tragedy into action, championing a new law to fight distracted driving. That's tonight's Eye on America on the CBS Evening News.
And then coming up tonight at 6, we'll have local reaction to the ceasefire deal and hostage release between Israel and Hamas. Arman Rahman has that story and more at the top of the hour on News 3 Now at 6.
And Alex is back. One more check of the forecast.
Beautiful start to the week after the morning showers that a few of us had, but we've got rain in the forecast again for Tuesday night going into Wednesday. You want to tune in at 6 if you didn't see earlier our future track. I'll show you those raindrops when they start Tuesday, when they peak Tuesday night going into Wednesday, and how much water you could expect with that weather system. Can't rule out a shower Thursday going into Friday, but look at Friday's high. My goodness. 74 degrees. That weather system brings good chances for showers and thunderstorms at 10. I'm going to give you a glimpse of that weather system. And then overall, even though that 59 on Sunday looks kind of chilly, relatively speaking, that's normal.
All right, not bad.
Enjoy it as long as you can. It'll change soon.
It'll change.
Thanks, Alex. Thanks for watching, everybody. The CBS Evening News is coming up next.
We'll be back in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6. You can always find us streaming 24/7 at Channel 3000+.